Zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69.
I don't know why the fuck I just played that
Wait,
song.
you played the number song?
I played the number song because I don't know how to count. And you know what? That was for Brunson because Austin would not play that shit last night. So, Brunson, there you go. Number song for you, buddy.
Was it the right version?
Mm
Oh my god.
hmm. You know it was.
You made people sad.
Oh man, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk, THL's first and only official recap show. We got a show for you tonight. Let me tell you, it's a show. It's happening. It's a thing. On tap tonight, we're gonna interview our very own Slimch. He's trying to become an even taller manlet, and we'll get more into that later on.
Yep.
Um, Cassie's dying on the inside right now as his calves are doing the thing tonight. And I'm
My
sure.
internet is going to cut out in about 1 hour and 5 minutes.
So whenever he makes a reference to his calves, or
Huge
anybody
storm.
in chat makes reference to his
I
calves,
do have a
especially
flash flood
mange,
warning.
um, that's gonna be our rule for the evening. In our traditional three, feels any of them, man. Power rankings, power hour, or Wicked Wednesday waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. As always, to my left, your right, is the one and only bearded beauty, Mr. Slimch. How are you this evening, sir?
I could not be doing much better after last season.
Oh,
Yee. Feels
pug
good, man.
champ. Feels good with
How's
the
Mr.
gun.
Jack Sox doing?
Um,
Mr.
Mr.
Cassidy's here too.
Mr. Jack Sox is no longer medicated. Mm-hmm.
Good.
We are back on the booze wagon. We're feeling great about it. Anchoring his corner, as always, holding it down for you folks at home, Mr. Cassidy. How are you tonight, sir?
Sips for LeBron. I'm good. Believe land. We're ready to go. And then there's Hearthstone, too.
Um, I could not possibly care any less about professional basketball, so I'm going to go ahead and give what little fucks I have to you and your Cavs for some luck tonight.
Suck it, Brunson.
Hey, you know what? Just because I know I'll make Brunson cry, so definitely supporting Cassidy on this one tonight. Oh, baby. All right, so let's get into this thing. Let's talk about it. Thank you, by the way, for linking the Wicked Wednesday thing in here for me, Slimsh, because I forgot to pull that tab up today.
Oh yeah, you know. I try.
Saving the day
What's up,
as
everyone?
always. Wicked Wednesday on Battlefy went down again. I'm calling every last one of you fuckers in chat out right now. I played. Most of you didn't. We had a smaller bracket than I would have liked. However, what we lacked in quantity, we definitely had in quality this week. And we saw a couple, and by couple I mean one, which is not how a couple works at all. We saw a new face in Wicked Wednesday who actually took it down. My buddy Hector Howe He's another one of my fireside guys. He's been to a few of them now. Really solid dude. Really looking to get active in the league for any of you captains looking for subs. He is a 1 seed, or if you have a high 2 seed, he could be a sub for you. But I think the real storyline here is in the semifinals, Slimps, you had to face off against the professional potato farmer himself in Mange.
Yes, I went up 2-0, and then I was reverse swept on my beautiful, beloved cartoon warrior, who served me so well the season before. So, yeah, pretty neat stuff. The dragons and the tempo and the Nazoth and the control were too much.
Rip.
You know, I know you guys won't get this, but this is the closest I can show you, Mage, to supporting you tonight. I'm rocking a Gator shirt. I know Cassie and Slims can't see me, but Mage shares my love and affinity for the Gators. So this is my shout out to you, Mage, for taking down Wicked Wednesday, or for sorry, runner up Wicked Wednesday, which he doesn't get to play in often. So it was good to see him out there and getting involved in his own tournament.
Mhm.
And then Slims, you and I had an epic third place match, right?
Capiquipo didn't actually happen. I forgot entirely about the third place match, and apparently you did too, because you
I-
became preoccupied.
Well, it was Wednesday night entropy practice, and by the time
Yeah.
it came third place, that's kind of the thing is I never expect to make it to the finals, so entropy
Yeah.
has our practice
It
for
it
Wicked
it
Wednesday.
surprised me that the bracket was so small.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't occur to me at all that I had lost one match, and that meant that I was fighting for third place. That just didn't
Yeah.
register for me at all.
Guys, let's get in there on this next Wicked Wednesday. Let's get back up to those 20 numbers that I like to see. Those 26, 27 man Wicked Wednesdays. Um, I need it right now. In my Hearthstone career, I need it. So let's
He
make them
does.
happen. All right, boys, let's get into it. Let's get into what we all really came here to talk about.
Oh man.
Um, we're gonna give a feels good to Cassidy, and then Slim and I are gonna go with the feels bads, man. Those
Yeah.
are all feels, so let's drink
Yeah.
for all the feels.
Feels.
And you know what? Just it's fucking power rankings. Just drink the whole damn time and feel bad.
Oh
about it.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I can do that.
All right, Cassidy.
That's what we live for.
Let's hear your take on it, man.
All right, well, let me tell you, THL. You are looking at the most fraudulent number one power rankings team in the history of the power rankings. This will be the only season where the team that holds the number one spot for a while has no chance to win the title, and that is Team Rank 5. But you know what? We like to be number one in your hearts, and that's where we're at right now.
I think
Um,
I think AP went easy on you guys because the roster had such a weird look to it.
Oh, we did scrape by with a tie, despite
Yeah.
the tempo Cthulhu Priest that does not play Cthulhu in the 5 seed. But
Pretty strong.
Supreme is stacked. They're number 2, obviously. I mean, that's the way it is. I do know that they had a game this week. I don't know how it went. 4 and 5 seeds are still a huge question mark there, obviously. Zenergy is ranked 3rd, making me eat my words here early on. They look unstoppable, but that's looks can be deceiving, right? THL, NWA back in number 4 because they have just straight dominated the last 2 weeks. Good for them. Team Avatar, making everybody eat their words, is number
Everybody.
5. They're the only team that is 3-0 in the league, and Lemur will not let you forget that if you hang out in Discord. But they haven't had a real test yet. But I think they
They have
don't
one
they
this
play
week.
Zenergy this week?
They do.
That is the matchup of the week right there.
Yeah,
So
we'll be talking about that one.
they'll have a test. Noob Central is 6th. Noob Central, for my money, is probably the best team in Orange Division right now. So I think they're a little undervalued there. Harry Generals fall all the way to 7 after getting shellacked by the Dream or Superheroes.
Yep.
Yeah, big time.
And then Archon Storm, Yogg Champs, and the Dream Team, they're all red, are they not? They round out the top 10.
They're all right around each other.
So, makes sense. They're by each other in the standings. They're by each other in the power rankings. So that's your feels good. That's your top half of the league. And let you guys talk about what feels bad.
All right, so 11 is pure strategy, which makes some sense. They're in the middle of the pack in the green division, and the green division actually was really low on points because Red's doing so well. They're kind of kicking us around so far. Um, Next up is Netherstorm. They actually only went down a little bit. They had a pretty close loss to Supreme this week, so
Yeah,
still
that's an
trying to figure out
opponent.
Netherstorm over
That's
in
an
blue.
opponent too. That like if you're gonna lose to Supreme,
Yeah,
that's not one of those. Oh, you lost to Supremes. It's like all right, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, damage ones, they're next, but they're actually on the upswing, so it's kind of feels good, man, for them being in the bottom half. Same goes for superheroes who were second from the bottom last week, and now they're 14th because they got 5 spots from not only beating but like convincingly so the Harry Journals. We're going to talk about that one too more in depth. Team Golden Wisp gets some points up in 15 for a tie at Team Rank 5. So that means a lot. 16's me. Feels bad, man. Go Sioux Casuals. We've been losing all season. Uh, AP gave me a nice shout out in there about my top 50, which I'm happy about, but feels bad, man. Boom Squad had a close loss to the damaged ones, I believe, in week 3. So they go down ever so slightly, and Aeon takes a big drop. That's might be too much actually. Although I don't know what did they do this week. Can't remember. Danger Zone's been having a tough time. They're sitting at the bottom of the green division at the moment. And how about number 20, Jack Sox?
Feels entropy, man.
Feels entropy, man.
Yeah.
I'm there with you.
This has to be like a record. Entropy is 0-15 in individual matches.
Yeah. Well,
That's got to be a record.
I can't lie to you, man.
We need a THL record book for positive things mostly and negative things. We need to start writing this stuff down.
The off season, it bent entropy over the couch and fucking gave it to us good. It was not a very easy off season, but I'll tell you this, man. The further we drop in the power rankings,
More fun you have.
the higher our morale is on the fucking team, and I don't
Can't
get
get
it.
any worse, Kappa Kipo.
Man, we had one of the most fun practices I've had in a long time last night. It was business, but it was also fun. And all I have to say is I hope that some of these entropy games get snuck onto streams. If they're not, you should get them on streams.
Oh, you guys got the memes now? More
No,
memes?
well,
I saw a meme or two.
here's the thing, man. All right, it's a meme, but it's a try hard meme.
Fair enough.
Our try hard isn't working. And taking a page right out of my own book, just a little sidebar in case you haven't been in on one of my Discord rants yet. Against players legend to top 100, I am at best of 5 matches. I am 8-4 since standard has come out between firesides, tournaments, so on and so forth. Against players 15 and lower, I am 0-7 in best of 5s. So you gotta bring the memes, man. You gotta bring the memes. They work.
Me.
But power rankings are starting to kind of. I think we're seeing a settling. I really do.
Yeah.
As the meta of standard, as the meta of the THL has kind of calmed down, and we're sort of seeing. Unless you're playing Tempo Priest, Cthulhu Priest without Cthulhu, or whatever that.
Gotta get those Dark Benders in their sick tempo.
Unless that's the shenanigans you're up to, I think we're starting to see kind of, like 6 decks, I would say. Probably about 6 that are really rising to the top and being consistently brought. And the majority of the memes are kind of falling away. Like I said, unless you're, 5 seed on Team Rank 5 where your name is Brunson. People seem to be understanding the meta and all heading in the same direction, which I think we saw in the results of week 3. We didn't see as many blowouts. Don't get me wrong. If you play at Entropy this week and your name's NWA, yes, you got a blowout. But most of the matchups we see are between like 16-10 or closer, which is kind of what you would expect to see from these matchups throughout the THL. So why don't we get into the week that was? I'm going to go ahead and pull up the graphic for you guys so you can see Was it Fezama? Fez-sama? I'm probably saying your name wrong, but once again,
Sama.
shout outs to the great graphic, and we will dive into the graphic at the end of the week that was, but it can be there for reference as we go. Um, so Slim, as you looked at week 3, what was a match or two that stood out for you, and what were your thoughts on
The top 50 thing was gonna be before this. I'll
it?
move it to the end.
Yeah, move it to the end because I didn't see it up there. My bad.
Yeah, you can talk about that while I go watch basketball. It'd be a great time.
Yeah. Well, there's always VODs. Yeah. So actually, why don't we touch about the graphic first? Is that what
Okay.
you do?
Yeah, let's dive into the graphic first.
The graphic stuck out to me a lot because kind of, and I don't know if we influenced this in some way, similar to how the Tempo Storm meta snapshot kind of influences ladder. Some people will say,
Mm-hmm.
but we were really talking bad on Paladin the other week, and it drops a whole 24.5% in terms of submissions from week to week. So that's just like massive. Hunter gets a huge upswing. Shaman gets picked even more. That was possible. And Warrior gets picked up even more. That too was possible, apparently.
Mm.
Priests go down, rogues go down. Although if I had successfully submitted my classes, rogue would not have gone down. Yeah, I don't know. Shaman's the most picked by far and the most banned by far.
Makes sense.
And warrior bans are up on the rise too, as warrior quickly develops into the most flexible.
Yeah, it's the new warlock, right? Like you can
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
build your warrior deck however you need to beat your opponent's lineup, and that's just really frustrating.
Yeah, it's
You know,
insane.
the shaman should have a couple more percents there, but I meant to ban shaman, but there was a priest in the lineup. I honestly did mean to ban
Banning
shaman,
priest
but
makes
I
sense
went on
too.
autopilot. I went on autopilot, man. Like I meant to ban the shaman, and had I banned the shaman and not the priest, I don't think I would have got reverse swept this week.
Yeah,
But it was just fucking autopilot, man. I saw the damn Anduin, and no, just no. But I have to fully agree that Warrior does feel like the new Warlock. It's so
mm-hmm.
versatile. It's got class. You could go aggro, you could go mid range, or you can
Control.
cartoon
Yep.
it.
Yep.
It's
Or at
feeling kind of
least
good right now.
Yeah, you can even not cartoon and just full on control.
find that artifact and
Mm-hmm.
that gold monkey. So yeah, of course I love to see this thing every week now from
Yeah.
Fez Sama, and he's even got new plans for it potentially next week. So if you guys think this would be a good thing, let him know. He's thinking about changing, instead of just the raw ban percentage in terms of all bans, he's thinking about basically, from what I understood, dividing that by the amount that class was picked to give kind of a better idea of like
Mm.
how significant that ban percentage
Percentage-wise.
was.
Yeah, that kind of makes more sense, to be honest.
Yeah.
Why do you think Rogue is so down? Is it bad, or is it players bringing it and then realizing how difficult it is to play and figuring out they'd be better off just not bringing it?
I think the latter. At least that's what my experience has been with it. It's good. I think it's good right now. I actually, that's part of the reason I tried to bring it. I'm speaking for the lower tier players. I've actually seen a couple of my opponents practicing with it and or bringing it. But the truth of the matter is, it's hard to pilot, man.
It's really hard to pilot.
Yeah. Yeah, Valera's scary.
Because
I
I
don't know.
think it's good. I think it does well against either warrior, not aggro warrior. I think
Yeah.
it's actually decent against the more mid range version of shaman. It's pretty good
Mhm.
against zoo. It's almost auto win against things like Nazoth paladin and control warrior. I don't know.
Huh. Beats priest really well too. A
Yeah, and
decent
it
chunk
does
of
good
people, I
against
think.
hunter, which people are
Hunter.
bringing now to counter the hard control decks. I don't know. I think she's in a
Yeah.
good spot. I just don't know if we have enough people comfortable bringing it every week.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd encourage people, if you're not comfortable with rogue, to maybe give
Oh
it a
yeah,
try at some point. But yeah,
it's
it's a
so
good
much fun.
undertaking. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of comfort zone to step out of. It's I when I picked it up and played oil rogue when that was still a thing, though, it was probably my most fun deck to play ever.
I think that's where I'm at with it right now.
It's
And
fun.
I had like 40 wins on Rogue going into last month. I think I'm up to like 190 now. And it
Ooh.
is just I just love it. Oh my god, the deck is so fun. I can't ladder with it if I'm actually trying to gain stars because Shaman's around, but it's tons of fun to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we'll see more of it as time goes. Maybe it'll stay around here. This like mid 20 to 30% seems to be more like the niche class
Mm-hmm.
that you kind of pick as your fourth, maybe on top of one of the big three or two of the big three and something else. I don't know.
And
Seems
I
to be
queue
that.
up that SPL lineup every week. Rogue is the first box I check.
Mm-hmm. That SPL life.
Yeah. So as for some of the matches of interest from week 3, I picked. First up was Archon Storm versus Xynergy. I thought this was kind of interesting because at the time and even now, still after the fact, Archon Storm is tied for second in red in terms of standings. Xynergy was first, and these two teams tied, which I guess is a representation of maybe their even strengths, or maybe it's too soon to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Clark Kent, Verde, and Killjive found wins against Katoda, Red Marsh, and Aroy. And Hertz and Nubasaurus got swept against Boom Boom Hall and Diamond. So that's how these ties always wind up being, is
Yeah.
like
There's
the
gotta be
winners had
sweeps.
close wins and the losers got swept. So that's kind of how that went. Yeah, I don't know. Jack Sox may have been looking at this one closely. These are, well, you've played one of these. You'll play Synergy to come, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those matchups, like you said, Archon Storm, we can't put that in the past. Feels bad, man, with the gun.
Yes, did feel.
And Xynergy feels scary right now to us. So, you know, watching it develop, kind of expecting the same results. You know, they seem to be pretty evenly matched team, and with Killajai being down the 4 seed, and with the way Zather's been performing this season, you know, one of the spots that we usually hope to get a win out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not Killajai. Aroy, sorry, I was wrong side there.
Both are
Aroy,
pretty good.
yeah, they're scary, man.
Yeah, and it's definitely shown up in the power rankings, which I think were pretty good this week.
Mm-hmm.
Archon Storm's on the rise. They didn't start out so high, but they've been winning quite a bit. They have a tie here. We actually play them this week. The Gosu Casuals and Archon are playing. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff as far as the tie goes. Normally these are kind of boring, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. Interesting that Xynergy's unilaterally banning Shaman, which makes sense. I've noticed a few patterns like this for teams though, where they're all on board with the same strategy,
Yeah.
which I think is generally a pretty good sign.
Maybe that's why we took such a whooping from NWA this week, as they put it
That's the
on
next
us.
one.
They put it on us big time, 20-6 in the red division.
That team is just really, really good.
Yeah, they're also going up against the
really
team
good.
this season that's really, really struggling. You know, you kind of feeling like middle of the career Tiger Woods right now. Had a lot of success early on as Team Entropy, but right now we just can't figure out our swing, man. It's tough. Every time we think we have a pretty good philosophy or meta as a team, um, it just we miss. We swing and we miss. But you know, NWA does propel themselves to the top of red with this convincing victory.
Yeah.
And they also show some unity as 4 out of the 5 players banned Warrior. I think they're starting to kind of adapt the same philosophy most people had season 2 about banning Warlock. It's a very tough class to target because you don't exactly know what your opponent's going to bring with the versatility of Warrior.
And 3 out of 4 of them that banned the Warrior brought Mage, so I think Jaina's doing some freezy things over there. Would be my guess.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Not to make their opponents' research too easy by saying this on Tavern Talk, but
well, you know, it's there. Well, hopefully they're watching. If they're not watching, then
and
I
they
know
can next level with Tempo Mage.
I know NWA is watching, so hopefully whoever their opponent is, they're watching too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then the The next one I was looking at was Team Avatar continuing their wins, being second in green, only to Synergy over the Danger Zone, which all things considered was a pretty close match.
Yeah, it really was.
But yeah, Avatar, they're mastering the 4 elements. They're the only undefeated team. And yeah, G-Nets had a big 3-0 win on Salty Saturday. So did Tony Montana earlier. We were just talking about Entropy and NWA also had a 3-0 sweep there. So last Salty Saturday returned to the week 1 Salty Saturday where the brooms all came out basically and there were sweeps all over the place and we moved on really quick. And yeah, something else I noticed about Danger Zone was none of them submitted Warrior. And Warrior's pretty good. I don't know, it just kind of stuck out to me. I thought it
Yeah,
was interesting.
Danger Zone seems. I know points wise they're way ahead of Entropy, but Danger Zone seems like they're all over the place. I've yet to see like a unified strategy or consensus among what they're doing every week, and I think it's rearing and showing itself here in the results each and every week.
Yeah. And the next one. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at week 4 because classes are submitted for my opponent. And I'm considering them now.
The next one is
oh God,
that's in your neck of the
David
woods.
over Goliath. Yeah, the superheroes 20-6 over the Harry Generals. And I know at the time the superheroes they were 19th in the power rankings last week, and the Generals were second. I think both of those rankings, hindsight's 2020 obviously, but they were both a little too far on the end of the spectrum. We even talked last week about teams maybe were moving a little bit too much, and that was an example of that. And the superheroes, I think they match up really well with the way the Harry Generals have their rosters set up, because the superheroes are very strong on top, like the Generals, and I think they're even stronger, and that showed. And then they're not at a huge disadvantage lower, other than Mighty Matty, you would think theoretically, but even he snuck out a win this week.
Got him.
So Dad is on the board, and apparently that family coaching is paying off. But they got a huge win. They stay alive in the playoff race, and if you're the Generals, you never want to read too far into 1 week, but man, that has to hurt.
Yeah, I think the Generals, they had a sub in for Mark Shire this week in the 2 seed, but that player came from SPL, who's the 1 seeded player there and who's undefeated, I think.
Yeah, Thor Smash, he's no slouch.
Thor Smash, he's
so yeah. I don't know if this was a week where the talented players at the top of the superheroes and also their counterparts in the SPL team who are with no limitations, they're even more powerful on their resume. Maybe they've finally gotten a knack for what's going on in the THL format. I mean, this is definitely something you notice big time. Like these 20-point sweeps don't happen often, and they don't often happen to a team that started off as well as the Harry Generals. So
watch out for the orange division.
Pretty impressive.
Man. We're sneaky good this season, top to bottom.
Sneaky good.
Sneaky good.
Speaking of more shenanigans in the orange and blue division, Noob Central plays Aeon. I don't think we were too high on the Noobs. I think we had a middle of the pack preseason.
And I think I had them right around 6.
Yeah, you did.
And Aeon, I think I was the only one that had them a little lower, as most people had them.
You were. You got that one right so far.
A little higher. But interesting matchup between the two. And I don't know that I'm shocked by the results, except I thought it would be a little bit closer. This being in your neck of the woods, Cassidy, how do you think this played out?
Well, let's pull up the results here. I know Josh Sampson is just he's kind of rolling, and he is. We talked about it in the preseason. Even he is in a prime spot to just be like a 4 seed to be reckoned with, and he's showing that early. And he managed to take down Captain Detrucci 3-2. Ham Boning is off to a very good start, winning 3-1. Cutthroat stumbled against Top Hat Demon, but I think you would expect that. And Stiller was able to sneak out a win against Dot Dark. And I think the story with Aeon early on is that their top 2 seeds are not as powerful as we had envisioned. looking at it coming in. And Petrucci he's solid. I don't think he's playing a seed higher than where he's usually dominant at. I think they struggle in the 5, and then the 3 seeds hit or miss, and that's fine. It's probably a coin flip every week with Follow Durden. But the story with Aeon seems to be that the top 2 just aren't. They're not dominating the way we had envisioned. And Noob Central is just doing their top to bottom. Let's try to take 3 out of 5 every week thing, and they play people close. You're not going to see a lot of blowout series with Noob Central either way, whether they're winning or losing. You see a lot of 3-2s and a lot of 3-1s every week, but they score points, and that's how you get to the playoffs in THL. So kudos to them.
So, question for you guys, being gentlemen that have been towards the top end of THL play, is it that Aeon doesn't have the 1-2 punch we thought they did, or is it that maybe we're underestimating the rest of the talent at 1 and 2 that they've faced so far?
I think Dark has done well up to this point. Of 484 PR in week 3 suggests that he had been 2-0 up to that point.
Yeah.
If anything, Top Hat Demon is maybe the one not translating the most.
That's kind of where I was looking
THL for someone who was at the prelims. Am I correct?
Was he?
I think Top Hat Demon was one of those.
I think you're right.
Who was there? So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, Follow Durden, we didn't know anything about really, and I think Follow Durden is with no wins so far in THL, so adapting quite a
He
bit
won
there.
this past week, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what it is about
He
Aeon.
is struggling. I'm looking through it now. Follow Durden's been a big struggle so far.
Yeah. So maybe they just, I don't know, I want to say more time as a new team, especially one that was actually thrown together late in the off season, but impressed us quite a bit.
Yeah,
So
in that blue division, though, time is of the essence.
Yeah, there is really no time in seasons. A lot of us who aren't doing so well are feeling that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No time for games.
So that brings us to 2 of what we thought to be heavy hitters. I don't know that that should really change in my mind. As Supreme Batman! He Supreme faces off against Netherstorm. And in my mind at least, I don't think Twizz's squad has gotten off to quite the start they wanted, but I still view them as a very strong group.
Yeah, they're doing all right. They're holding it down, just a little off the Harry Generals after this week now in terms of the blue standings. So
there's kind of like this weathering of the storm within the blue division. And to Cassie's point, though, last season it was kind of, no offense to you guys over in green, Slimch, but the blue mentality was weather the storm in blue, get your points in green. However, this season, that mentality doesn't work because orange is an animal over there in that division. But Netherstorm now has faced off against Supreme. And
Team Rank 5.
And Team Rank 5. Yeah, they're kind of in the damaged ones who they got a great win over.
Yep.
They faced some pretty solid teams with, I believe this is not a shot at anybody. I'm just trying to speak from what the stats are showing. You have to consider that they have the Harry Generals ahead of them. They've got Noob Central ahead of them, and then the easier half of their schedule.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, I completely agree. I think they're in a position where they can definitely make a run because the schedule's going to soften up for them going forward.
Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, to get into playoffs, they don't even necessarily need to
they're 5 points behind Supreme and 1 point behind the Harry Generals, and they have played both Supreme and Team Rank 5 so far. So I don't think the Harry Generals or Supreme can say they've played 2 of the heavy hitters up to this point. So Netherstorm's in a really good spot. They're definitely going to control their own destiny going forward, I feel.
Yeah, and in this week with Supreme and Netherstorm, Supreme got 2 out of 3 wins in their top 3 that we talked so much about. Dear Jason did lose to Sir Spams a lot, but he did it 2-3, which helps a bit.
And Sneaky Hero got the win. Shout out.
Sneaky Hero. And then Vendy
Bende!
didn't quite get it against Super Explosive Sheep. I think that's a PR differential, unlike we've never seen a differential like that. More than 200 points separating Vendy and Super Explosive Sheep. It's kind of the price you pay when you sign Ray C as your 3C.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's for
But
sure.
yeah, Vendy's kind of down in Discord saying he goes 2-3 in THL all the time. But you know what, Vendy, you did your part.
If Supreme gets a 1 win between Sneaky Hero and
Yep.
Vedney every week, it's over. I mean,
it's probably
that's
over.
kind of the reality of it. If one of those two wins, the match is over. And even if they both lose, Supreme is still favored. You know, I mean, it's crazy.
Supreme's got a very unique build going for them.
They do.
Not one that's easy to emulate. Those low PR players are hard to find and hard to chunk together on one team in the 4 and 5 slot.
Mm-hmm. And while we haven't really spent time discussing them, I want to put the name out there so nobody thinks we're sleeping on them. Yacht Champs, we see you.
Oh yeah.
We see you, Yacht Champs. You're not sneaking under any radar. Just know we know you're there.
They're tied for second now with Archon Storm, I think, in the standings. Yep. They had a pretty solid week against Pure Strategy, who was looking really good early on, but they took actually one of the hardest losses of anyone.
They're just such a little tease every season.
So this brings us to week 4. And the week that we're about to go into, that honestly, there's a lot of very interesting matchups here that we could spend all night talking about, but for the sake of the Cavs and for the sake of Cassie's sanity, we're just going to give you some of the highlights of some of the bigger matchups this week. And I'd like to start off, I know it's not listed. Oh, actually, it is listed this way on the document.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Lamau, Slim's just the best document or script writer NA, in case you guys didn't know.
Red's at the top of the week 4 page. I got him.
Yeah. So NWA is facing off against the Yacht Champs.
God, this is a good week for DHL.
So hold on. I'm just gonna list it. I'm gonna list what we have. And then just because the thoughts are everywhere right now. NWA 1 red versus Yacht Champs tied 2 red. If that's not enough for you, Synergy 1 green going up against Team Avatar 2 green. Harry Generals 2 blue going up against Noob Central 2 orange. Team Rank 5, first orange going up against Damaged Ones, third orange. What a week. So where do we even begin with it?
I mean, we'll start at the top with red. This is the difference. When we expanded, scheduling became a little more difficult, and so we couldn't do the whole first half you play the other division, second half you play your own division scheduling. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want you guys in the audience to sleep on just how big these matches are. NWA against Yog Champs. This is one of those matches where last season we would have come on and we would have said that like the loser of this match isn't going to playoffs. And I feel that way going into this. Mm-hmm. If NWA loses, they could still sneak in. I think if they do what they've been doing, though, and just dumpster the Yog Champs, not saying it's going to happen, but if it does, I don't see how the Yog Champs bounce back looking at the schedule going forward. And you can say the same thing about Synergy and Avatar. I think because those teams are both so far ahead where they're at, maybe they both sneak in. But whoever wins, I guess I'll say, these two matchups, you're going to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I feel. And that's a big deal. So we should be hyped. I hope we got these guys all over the streams coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we'll get the stream list here in a moment. We got a few, right?
There's a little Synergy versus Avatar for Salty Saturday. We'll just say that much. But Salt says the loser will still make the playoffs. I don't know about that because NWA and Yog Champs are really close. Yeah. And if Archon Storm and the Dream Team don't do badly, the loser will fall quite a bit in the standings, and it might be difficult to recover because I'm actually not sure of the entire schedule as a whole, but I know that they must have more of each other to play against at this point.
Yeah. I feel like I am currently watching blue-green from last season, but with green taking the role that Supreme and Harry Generals did last season, and with Red
Yeah.
taking the role that Green had, where
really well rounded.
Yep.
well, it wasn't even just. It was like it was well rounded, but also that feeling of like you have NWA only 3 points ahead of the fourth place team in Red. You know, you have these shitters down there in the bottom, Entropy, who I think statistically, unless we like annihilate everybody the rest of the season, we're kind of out of the picture here. We're just playing spoilers. But if you look at the Dream Team is in fourth place with 48 and NWA up there at the top with 51, your opportunity to gain those leads against your opponents within your division are few and far between. And when it's the team that's right there threatening you for, you're both holding a spot right now, right, in NWA and Yag Champs. You are trying to take that other person's spot and send them to the back of the bus. Because that's probably what's going to happen with the loser of this matchup is probably going to go down either to where Archon Storm is right now or the Dream Team is right now and ending up third or fourth in the division, which does not guarantee you a playoff spot with the current playoff structure.
Yeah.
So I have to say I agree with Cassie in the sense that you could potentially knock the other guy out in week 4, or at least put them at a point where they're going to kick and scratch for every point. However, when it comes to Avatar and Synergy, I feel like they have more wiggle room. You know, you got a 13-point lead over the next team challenging for a playoff spot right now. And you don't want to put it on cruise control by any means. You want to get every point you can. But I don't think it's a win or go home in the case of the Synergy Team Avatar matchup, where it might be with NWA and Yag Champs. And that feels really weird to be saying that in week 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. It does. I felt weird writing it, but I'm glad you guys are saying it because that means I'm not crazy. Because I was thinking it. Yeah, so that'll be an interesting one for sure. We don't have any of that getting.
We have
actually,
Salt
yeah,
and
we
the
do.
Real
We have
Doctor Who.
on Team Rank Friday. We'll
Yep.
spoil.
Cool.
Yeah, and yeah, so we talked about Synergy and Team Avatar happening. These two teams are pretty stable in terms of the top 2 in Green, but it may matter to be solidified as number 1. I think overall it's just a big confidence booster. And you never know. Pure Strategy's still kicking there in the middle. I'm looking at the Gosu Casuals and Danger Zone, hoping, especially for the Gosu Casuals, for something to happen there to catch back up. But there's a long way to go right now. And yeah, I don't know. This is just a really big one. I think it's an exciting moment for teams like this to face up against each other because we've had 3 weeks to figure a decent amount out. So yeah, we'll get to kind of see these teams clash together.
It just because I see it going on in the chat right now, folks. If you're wondering, top 2 are in from each conference, and then there are 2 wild card spots up for grabs. So there will be a total of 10 teams. Slim said that up there. If you guys don't know how to read, I did it for you.
Sick.
I'm sorry. Where were we?
Oh, lots special hype. We there was some of this on Facebook today as Gnets came to the realization that Katoda, like himself, is from Brazil. So we have our 2 Brazil THL players going up against each other this week. And I don't know, we've seen great things out of Gnets, but it's been a really good season for Katoda too so far. Katoda crushed me in the week that we played, so
I feel like Katoda is one of those guys that once upon a time it was like, oh, Katoda. And then a few other big names joined the league, and people, they forgot about Dre. I mean, like, don't sleep on Katoda now, guys.
Yeah.
He's still the guy we all used to fear back when him and Slims were the only 500 PR players in the league. The guy can still play
forget
Mean
Yuri.
Right. But did I hear correctly that didn't Katoda take down Tuesday Night Hype this week?
Yes. Katoda got Tuesday Night Hype, which is no small feat, like at all. Out of all the Open Cups that are on, like the regular Open Cups weekly, Tuesday Night Hype it's the big one. Like winning Tuesday Night Hype is huge. If you ever enter Tuesday Night Hype or just look at the brackets, the field is stacked. You'll recognize so many names of players that you know in Tuesday Night Hype who are also in there trying to get the World Championship points. It's just insane. I'd like to go look at that bracket. I meant to even go watch the VOD of Katoda's games and just see what he had to go through. Eric or Necro Havoc on Facebook pointed out that Katoda beat Green Sheep in the semifinals. If you watch enough competitive Hearthstone, you see Green Sheep all the time. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. It says a lot about Katoda to go so far in a format that's very much like ours. It's conquest with a band. So like this sort of performance can translate easily into THL as well.
Mm. So we wind up in the blue orange land here, and we have the Harry Generals coming off a pretty I'm gonna call it devastating loss.
That's a big one.
And you have the noobs who have been possibly exceeding expectations, unless you're Cassidy, who pretty much figured them to be about where they are right now.
Yep.
They're good, man.
What do you think, man? Cassie, you got the Harry Generals, who I know you've been watching because they're Blue Division, and Noob Central, who you've seen for a few seasons over there in Orange now.
The noobs.
What do you think, man?
I see the noobs winning it. I think they match up very well. Cutthroat is a good player. We know that. So, Mark Shire he's a very, very, very strong 2-seed, MVP runner-up, but Cutthroat can give him a game. And Stiller, I actually think I would favor Stiller over Andy Rogers, much as it pains me to say that, because I hate picking the noobs, but I'm going to try to be objective here. I think Nate is a favorite over Arcane Fu. PR would agree with that. I think Josh Sampson is a huge favorite over whoever the Harry Generals trot out in the 4 spot this season. It's Vicarious. I think Josh Sampson at 280 is one of the best values in the league. And the Hamboning Gurn Blanson matchup, PR wise, Hamboning's favored. Now we know what Gurn's capable of. We know what he's done in the past. And Hamboning's still kind of a newcomer, so I don't know if the PR advantage is that big of a deal there. But I just think the Generals are going to struggle to match up with the noobs 1 through 5. And I think that's going to be the story of the noobs going forward this season. That they are as balanced as anybody, top 1 through 5. So that's going to show.
The Generals are they're relying quite a bit on Mark Shire probably in the 2 spot to get the win, and
I don't see how
Andy
they can
Rogers
win if he loses
as well. Yeah, and by the way, I guess we'll shout this out since we've been doing it. Mark Shire and Cutthroat are the opening act for Salty Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, of course.
That's a big deal.
So yeah, you're gonna start off real strong there. But yeah, I thought this one was pretty interesting because the Generals just suffered a huge loss. They're down in the power rankings below Noob Central now, who's been doing well. And yeah, I think this is actually a pretty strong matchup for the Noobs, and I would not be surprised if they take it now. Yeah, so kind of sad to see the reigning champs get beaten up a little bit here, but yeah, we'll see what they take from last week here. This is to orange opponents, but you never want to lose points.
Sliv, we got a little. You got a little roboto going on. I actually think it's more of a connection issue than the mic. So we'll let that settle for a bit. I think in time your connection will level out. So Cassie, that brings us to you guys over there at Team Rank 5 taking on the damaged ones.
Yep.
You got the noobs breathing down your throat, and the damaged ones actually are in a great position if they get a win here to do some big time jumping. As the noobs do not have an easy opponent, and if they could get some points off of you guys, they're looking to make a jump into that top 2. How you guys see it?
Yeah, so I haven't talked with the whole team a whole lot lately. I'm still trying to ease back in. I just kind of went MIA for a week. We got Imbolc in the 1 seed, which is, man, that's a scary sight. The last time Imbolc was a 1 seed on Team Rank 5, I wasn't even around. But he's been playing really well the last season and a half, and he is a PR favorite over Bites. So I feel good about that. We have a substitute player again. Moxie is still overseas in China visiting family. He can't play this week. So we have Prelude taking on Seoul. Prelude is a 450 player, so he's made legend. He kind of knows what's going on. Then we've got the one and only Parker, favorite over Rex in the 3 seed. And he's coming off a loss. And if you know Parker, coming off a loss, he is as pissed off as ever. And then Jesus is not a huge PR underdog this week. So, man, I'm telling you, I feel really good about that one. And Donnie is back with us, not playing Tempo Cthulhu Priest minus Cthulhu. And, hoping we can get Donnie on the board and get his first win this week. So I feel pretty good. And whoever wins this, there's obviously going to be some ramifications involved as far as standings are concerned. I don't think it's kind of the same level as those other top teams squaring off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the damaged ones, if they win this, it becomes a 3-team race in Orange. And if they lose, this is kind of like, hey, is Jerry's team contenders or pretenders? That's kind of what this week feels like to me. It's kind of like a barometer for their status as well as Team Rank 5 status, because we are fraudulent as the top team in THL.
Learning here in chat from Cheesy that he was taken out by Prelude in winter prelims, not spring prelims.
Feels good, man. That's our 2 seed.
So that's
What's
your 2
up,
seed.
THL?
So yeah, if the damaged ones, I think doing well here creates separation between them and the superheroes who may or may not be on the rise. So yeah, that placing for these teams in third could mean a lot as the weeks move forward, because those are potential playoff spots right there. And if you can take Team Rank 5 down, yeah, you can really make this a 3-man race, assuming Noob Central does pretty well. So,
yeah,
pretty interesting orange stuff here.
I like what you said though about this is kind of the litmus test for the damaged ones. How real are they? Here you come up against one of the big boys of THL. How will they hold up? And I'm interested to see how that plays out. So we have Team Rank Friday this week. I'm happy. I'm really happy to see that we're getting more action on Team Rank Friday early on in the week. There's still a few slots open in like the 10 and 11 o'clock area. So if you're
7 even maybe.
If you're interested, hit up either Mange or who's his partner in crime there? Is MV Parker his partner in crime on Friday?
Usually, yeah.
So
I should be around tomorrow, knock on wood, so that'll be fun.
Oh, baby.
Pretty much, if you're on Team Rank 5, hit him up. If you ask Donnie, he'll tell you he has no clue what's going on. So I would choose somebody else. But at 8 o'clock, we have Salt in the real Doctor Who. That's going to be awesome. That's from that NWA and what's it called matchup.
Dog Champs.
And
Jack Fox around.
That's some hype right there. That matchup between those two teams is one of the marquee matchups for this week, and I believe these two playing within that matchup is one of the marquees of the week as far as individual matches go.
It's a big one, and I think it's a big one especially for Yog Champs, because Yog Champs have lightweight going up against Crayon in the 4 spot. So
yeah,
to win up here could make a really big difference, because Crayon is just ridiculous in the 4 seed, and lightweight's still pretty new to the league. So
I can tell you this right now. Drudded is definitely enjoying his season alpha or beta, wherever he established that 100 PR. Don't believe it. So, this is one of the very few places that they're heavily favored. So,
yeah,
they got to get that match. But I know that Salt's been playing really well. He's been playing well since last season. So hyped up on that one. Hopefully I'm around to watch it. I do have some plans tomorrow. I might have to do the pocket earbud, not letting people know I'm not really listening to what they're talking about thing tomorrow. And then we go to Pepper as Gemini takes on Sunshine, who is new to Team Golden Wisp. And I don't know much about him, so it should be interesting to see how that one plays out. That's going to go down at 9 o'clock. Switching over to Salty Saturday, we kick it right off with a banger as Mark Shire goes up against Cutthroat. And as we discussed here, that is a must-win for the Harry Generals. It's one of the spots they really need to make sure that they get a win. And it's probably got to feel great to have Mark Shire back, despite the fact that, as we said, Thor Smash is no slouch.
No.
Good guy to have replace a player like Mark Shire, but Mark Shire has been on fire for the past season and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And I expect it to continue going that way.
Should be a good one.
Lemur goes up against Aroy. Not 10 o'clock, second slot. That one, I'm not going to lie, Lemur. I'm bringing popcorn to the slaughter.
Yep. Oh, the slaughter. Oh, feels bad, man, with the gun.
One step further. Cassie was like, "Oh, you're looking to get entertained. You're gonna bring some popcorn."
I'm
Okay.
hyped about that match, but the slaughter. Oh God, you make Lemur sound like he's a gorilla.
Yeah,
Topical
that one's gonna be
reference.
pretty interesting. We had a few options to show off this Synergy Avatar match, and we took this one because wanted to show off a few different seeds. There's a lot of 2-seed matches going on tonight.
Lemur, I just want you to remember.
Yeah, Lemur's upset.
It's my show.
Understandably so.
It's my show, and I don't care about rain checks.
Just don't drag the kid through the water, Lemur, and you'll be okay.
Hashtag wrecked.
My God.
And then we close it up with Vendy versus Hambone. I almost said Hamboning because
Boning.
dude, there's but classic 2-seed matchup. 60-point PR difference.
Yep.
Absolute stud at Hamboen. We'll see though. Vendy has played good Hearthstone in the past, and he's taken out people that I did not expect him to. In the past, it feels very David and Goliath on Salty Saturday, with the exception of that opener, which I don't care, man. I'll be popcorning either way.
Yeah, this one will be pretty cool. Vendy, former captain, 3-seed extraordinaire, up here in the 2-seed now against 2-seed extraordinaire Hamboen. Wow, those classes, Vendy. Those classes, very interesting.
For Vedney or Vendy?
Vendy, sorry.
Vendy!
I got Vendy on the brain.
Hey, Paladin and Rogue, those are standard brings now. Oh, and look, there's a priest. Hey, he got the warrior right.
Oh man.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this one.
Lineup. Oh boy.
This is going to be a time. Pure Strategy is definitely looking to get way more points, and if there's a week to do it, they're probably looking to do it against the current bottom 5th ranked team in the green division. So we'll see. Could go either way. I don't know. I like Vendy. I like Vendy a lot. He plays cool decks.
Yeah, he does.
I think
THL Sunday Ticket
on the 2-seed.
THL Sunday Ticket is wide open, gentlemen. And you know what? I just, because you're talking to chat, I don't normally do this because I don't like attention seekers. But what's up, Boom Boom Hall? How you doing, man? Good to see you. THL Sunday Ticket is wide open. If you have not yet scheduled your match, just try to schedule it for Sunday. See if we can get on that. Hit up MV Parker, and actually a slew of other people. I know Lemur's done a few.
Hi.
I know Slim's has done a few. I even think Mange has come back to do a few on Sunday. Just hit people up, man. Put it on the
Sunday
Facebook
is
show.
like, if we're on, we'll cast you.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how Sunday goes.
If we're on, you can read into what our Sunday is all about.
Just get into Discord and be like, hey, who wants to cast this match? Or on Facebook, who wants to cast this match? And then the group of us that have no life and are sitting in Discord will be like, hey, whose turn is it to go cast a match? And we'll be like, not it, nose goes, and then somebody will. So just, get in there. Let us know.
So that's how Sundays go, guys. All right, let's bring it around. Slim, I didn't want to rush this earlier. That's why I wanted to put. And so I'm going to start this off by saying that we have many very talented people here in THL. We have a top 8 spring prelim guy in Dear Jason. We have people such as Moxie, Top Hat Demon, and Dot Dark who finished top legend and have killed tournaments. But there's a certain feel when it comes to Slimsh. Slimsh, I'm going to call you THL grassroots homegrown. I feel like THL grew a manlet who has achieved something awesome in finishing top 50 in the May season. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Um, I know many of us were sitting there watching. I was at work watching my friends list, watching it rise and fall. I'm one of those that I play baseball. I play baseball. I know that you don't talk about the no hitter. You don't bring it up. You don't mention it, and you can attest to it. I didn't say a word the whole time that you were up in that area. But take us through the journey, man, because so many of us were on it with you.
Yeah, people were definitely with me, giving me their height. I don't know. First, I want to give a shout out to Pizza, who's in chat, who also finished top 100 legend and did not get win traded into it. He had balls to queue up into matches when it was necessary, way before I did, throughout the course of the night, and secured his own spot on his own merits. So, yeah, big shout outs to Pizza. There were 2 of us this season. I don't know if there were more, if they're not on my friends list for some reason. There were definitely a lot of people trying, but yeah, Pizza was there with me too.
Any of the
And
Supreme guys, like did Ray C finish top 100?
oh god, did Racy remove me? I think Racy was out of it actually. We were watching that Just Saying stream when he was doing the spectate zone, and I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
he was
that's the best
constantly
stream
looking
ever.
at Racy on his friends list, and I think Racy was out of it for the most part
Okay.
for a long time. But yeah, THO is definitely with me there all the way. Whenever I queued up in the games, I'd be on Discord to answer part of Nubisaurus's question. Is people would generally spectate me. I actually didn't play that many matches towards the end of the season. I just kind of got into the top 100. I think initially I maybe had about a 6 or 7 game winning streak from like the 200s into rank 33 or so initially, and then I just kind of camped out there. Played one game every day and won a game every day to kind of fight off the natural decay that was going on. Um, yeah, so that's about how many it took to get in there into the top 100. I was just kind of playing, and I realized, oh, crap, I'm here. This is new. Like
This was the
halfway.
month where you hit really early too, right? You hit Legend. I
Yeah,
want to say like by like the 6th of the month or something
the eighth.
crazy.
The eighth I
Eight.
hit
Okay.
legend. That's probably the earliest I ever did, and I don't know if that's necessarily a contributing factor, but definitely didn't stop playing once I hit legend. So yeah, that was pretty helpful. Um, Yeah, I'm just reading some of these questions that were there that inspired this whole shameless thing. Yeah, so some of my choices during the days leading up to the last day, I just kind of queued up one game a day, and I always won, which was very fortunate for me because to lose would feel really bad. A lot of people supporting me, giving me advice, especially because I had never been in this neighborhood of the top 100. So I was constantly asking both MV Parker and Cheesy, who are no strangers to the top 100 Legend Land, on advice on when it was safe to camp, what to do, things like that. There definitely was a lot of camping that happened, which did not always turn out to be for the better. Um, yeah, so Nubasaurus asked me why a heavy control deck. I was just playing the Cartoon Warrior from 4 to Legend, and I just kept playing it ever since. It felt really nice.
Saiyan touched on that on his stream too. He said that the meta was very mid-range for a while, and so people were countering that by going to one extreme or the other. So they were
Yeah,
playing the really fast face decks like that Face Warrior that got super popular the last few days of the season, or very heavy control style decks like what Slimsh was doing, because that mid-range Totem Shaman, Tempo Warrior, etc. They just all got super popular. So you either have to
yeah,
run those decks over in the first few turns, or you have to be able to outlast them.
yeah,
And
and I could
that,
definitely outlast the
yeah,
mid range
definitely.
shamans. Those were good matchups. I encountered those a few times when I was queuing up, and yeah, this oh god, who asked about the Mimas deck? That was Pumbaa's BFF. So the first when I'm in the camping strategy, I'm queuing up the first few games. They're against Yogg mages, and one of them was a deplorable enough human being to not only be running a Yogg mage, but they were running the servant of Yogg Saron.
Oh
You guys know
God,
this card, the 5 mana 5/4 that
5/4.
casts a random spell that costs 5 or less. One of them was a burgle. I don't remember what the other servant did. And this guy tried to add me after the game. I was so disgusted by them. Thankfully, I won, but oh my god. And then another meme of a deck was actually Katoda. I queued into him at one point in the last few days, and Katoda, he like on like turn 4 or 5, he's playing a zoo deck, and a Shattered Sun Cleric comes down on the board. I'm like, okay, this is a Reno deck, and and that got confirmed later on when he dropped an Elven Archer that came from his deck and not from Dark Peddler.
Reno Cthulhu Zoo.
Reno Zoo. So that was another meme deck, and that was funny to run into Katoda playing that. So those were some memes. Games
What?
are pros beaten. I didn't
Yeah.
see any pros at all. It was just a
No?
bunch of no-name Yogs. Because I only played like a dozen games since I hit into like the initial spot
That's crazy.
where I camped from, and I almost got punished for it, if not for Lime Sarah, who I'll never forget, because in the last minutes of the season, when it was like 2:55 in the morning, and my rank was going down by about 1 per minute, and I was at 96. So I
Oh,
queue up to
God.
try and find a real win, which there was no time for. We had a warrior mirror that we ran into, and he looked to be a control variant. And then out of nowhere, on like turn 4 or something, he just concedes, accepts my friend request, and this is just my best friend now because it pushed me from being out of the top 100 into the top 50. So
Can't believe you jumped that many ranks with one
That's-
win. That's crazy.
that's the main thing. Like that was everything in the end. So
It was
that was
everything.
the memorable moment for sure.
Well, I know
Yeah.
that
Oh my
many
God.
of us felt like it was a win for us all, Slim. You were our Rocky Balboa.
It
Our
definitely was.
champion.
I would definitely not be taking Hearthstone this seriously, nor would I have the backing to support a run for top 100 if it weren't for THL, because I don't know. I probably would have played way more and just fallen out of it. Camping was a legitimate strategy for the longest time, but I don't know, I almost got punished for it but thanks to Lime Sarah, oh, we got there.
Well, Slim, you're awesome, and I don't
You're
think
awesome.
You're so awesome.
I don't think this was shameless. I think that I know at least it's the way I feel. I've already said it a couple times. It feels kind of like a little victory for all of us.
Oh yeah.
You know, we have many awesome folks who I'm very grateful have come into this league that came in already top 100 caliber players. And not that you weren't, but I feel like
Oh yeah, I mean, when I came into THL, I had only hit Legend twice. It was
Oh
very
my
new for
goodness.
me, and I don't know, just the competitive format was completely foreign to me. Never played in tournaments, never played in a conquest format myself or last year standing. Oh, my cam gone?
no, you're here. I got you. I got you. Oh no, your
Awesome.
camera's gone. So is Cassidy's though.
What?
Alright, I'm
Yeah.
back now, maybe.
Huh.
You need Skype Premium to make a group video call. Find out more.
Oh no. Well, I'm still here.
Did that just change?
That just happened.
I'm still here.
It's all right. We're near the end of the show.
No, I gotta pay to win.
We will go with
What was I gonna say? Oh, but yeah, I don't know. THL's helped me grow a lot as a player. It's been a long time.
you know what,
So,
Slim? I think we've helped you grow all the way from 5'3" to 5'3 and a quarter.
oh my God, we're getting there.
I don't know if I have the authority to do so, but I'm gonna give you that quarter of an inch.
Oh my God. I can see Cassidy. He's like all dark.
Yeah, it's really weird. You're both.
I'm dark too.
Yep.
Because we don't have Skype Premium.
Uh,
This is some trash. Fuck you, Skype.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Skype wants us to pay to win. So
Paid a Tavern talk. Confirmed.
listen, I could talk about how awesome Slim is all night, but we need to get Cassidy to his cab. So let's get into this Q&A.
Oh, shit, they're
and
playing. You're right.
The most important thing about the top 50, I'm pretty sure I'm going to summer prelims now. If I just hit legend this
Oh,
season.
Kevin Love for 3. Sorry.
So, so yeah. So that's the biggest thing, is that I think I'll get to represent THL to land, which is obviously the dream.
That is awesome.
So yeah.
And we need to get those shirts ordered. By the way, guys, I'm just gonna link it. I was gonna do this whole thing where I showed the page again. I'm just gonna put the link in the chat because I really am on a mission to get Cassidy to his Cavs game. You have 8 days from wait, hold on. That's it. It's July 10th, right? Yeah, or June 10th. You guys have 8 days to get in on these shirts before you have to wait
Oh, yeah.
probably another couple seasons to get your swag. I get paid tomorrow. I'm picking up a couple shirts.
Yeah, I need to do that.
We got, for those of us who bought them last time, I can tell you this right now. I always have hesitations when it comes to buying things to as custom T-shirts and such as to the quality. I was super impressed with how nice my hoodie was. Very comfortable. It's held up awesome. I wear that thing all the time. Um, and I'm pretty sure that everybody else can kind of say the same about what they got. So jump on that. Proceeds from that are going to season 3 rewards, and really fingers crossed, maybe some sort of something to give a nod to season 2 guys. But that all depends on what you guys are willing to contribute. So let's make sure our season 2 winners get something nice, but let's also make sure that season 3 has some awesome prizes. So there's that.
Yeah.
Grim Gamer wants to know: are there any updates on the THL Fantasy League that you guys can leak?
It's kind of taken a back seat, to be honest with you. We have been focusing on other things that are more pertinent to actual THL gameplay, like a new a new PR entry system, which you guys will hear more about coming up. And the fantasy will probably take hold again more seriously in the next few weeks. I would assume we'll get back with our subcommittee and play it out a few more times, make sure we like what we're doing. But we have a framework and a system in place that I think is going to be the basis of it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was some behind
If
the
you've ever played
scenes.
like FanDuel or something, it's a lot like that.
There was a lot behind the scenes. There was actually a few guys playing behind the
Yeah,
scenes last season,
yeah,
testing it out.
yeah. We've played it a few times.
Slimsh was not playing, but he was watching it all go down.
Oh yeah.
But as Cassie said, there's a few things that for the overall quality and structure of the THL that need to be handled first before season 4. Which you guys might be like, well, we're only in week 3.
Oh God.
We've been working on this since week 3 of season 2.
The Overwatch open beta took away at least one, if not two, board meetings. So we're catching up.
So bear with us. It is coming though down the line, Grim, and we will let you guys know as we know. Smoked Salmon, actually, funny that you mentioned Overwatch. Smoked Salmon asked, with all the non-Hearthstone related ventures THL is getting into, what are some games you personally would like to see THL getting into? Before we answer that, I just want to say that for those of you who are not aware or have not taken the time to read the THL posting guidelines on our Facebook page, we highly promote THL community interacting with one another in games that aren't Hearthstone related. I think it's awesome that I have friends that I could play Civ with and Town of Salem and Overwatch and all that. It's awesome. I really encourage that, but our Facebook thread is not the place to be doing that. And not everybody does the Discord. So if you would like to get a shout out, Tavern Talk will be doing PSAs. I'm just gonna give a few of them right now. Brunson's looking to put together another THL 5v5 in HOTS. If you are interested in that, get at Brunson. The Grim Gamer is looking to put together a team in CSGO that is made up exclusively of THL people. So if you're into CSGO, get at the Grim Gamer. And myself, as well as Tell, are looking to do an Overwatch organized 6 team that actually tries to play competitively. Um, so, so there are those 3 games I would like to see people getting into that are already currently active. Slimsh or Cassie, is there anything you'd like to see the community getting into?
I want to buy Overwatch now.
Dude, it's so much fun.
We we did a HOTS 5v5 day like one time, and it was so much fun. Like we
Awesome.
were playground style picking teams, and we had like everybody from like really good players to really bad players on both teams, and it was a ton of fun. So Brunson will be probably like posting in Discord about that, or maybe sneaking a Facebook post in for a few minutes before it gets modded. But watch out, like we typically did it on Sundays, and now it's gonna be summertime, so like no excuses, man. Let's play a lot of video games
I
the next
I
couple
second
months.
I second the HOTS because it was a lot of fun the first time. I've gotten so much better at HOTS since then. We
Have
kind of
you?
dropped off the HOTS because
Yeah, I haven't played.
because we kind of used to play HOTS back when Hearthstone was stale, and we got sick of it.
We'd hit
Well,
Legend, and it was like, all right, I can play HOTS for 2
A lot of
weeks.
people are
Like,
still sick of it, but yeah, I've still been playing HOTS. I keep up on my quests. I'm no longer just the Jimmy guy. I have many heroes at my disposal of all different types. So don't ban Jimmy.
Yeah, that was I could second that. The 5v5 HOTS was awesome, and for those of you who aren't picking up what we're saying, it's all THL.
yeah, it's
So
10 THL people.
10 THL
Mhm.
guys. And just another quick shout out to Gnets, I think it was who said it. He wants to do THL Rocket League. Slimsh will captain that up because Slimsh loves Rocket League.
Where's my controller?
So those are some things, and guys, don't be afraid to actually enjoy one another's company. You know, I know that we all look like scumbag assholes, which most of us are. But we're scumbag assholes you can play video games with. If you're scumbag assholes like Cassie and I, who are teachers, you have nothing to do for the next 2 months other than play video games.
When I get back at the end of June, I'm buying Overwatch, and I'm going to play all day if you guys
Let's
are
do
going to be
it.
on a lot.
Brunson has a very important question.
Oh, this is the most important question.
This might be the marquee question of the Q&A. Brunson wants to know if anybody has the Slimsh and Nancy copy pasta. He lost it.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's like Jennifer level.
So I'm looking at Killajive, who I'm hoping is creeping in here. I haven't banned him tonight, so I don't know if he's here. So Killajive, be the hero, not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need, or do I have that backwards? I don't know. Get the damn Nancy copy pasta. And Nate
Please.
this is actually all right. I'm good.
This is a really good one.
I'm good. Kind of spoiler alert. This needs to be answered. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Nate asks if Tavern Talk had time for an entirely new segment. What would you be interested in hearing discussed? We have, if you're wondering what we currently have, we have the week that was, the week that is, Power Rankings, Wicked Wednesday, Q&A.
Yeah, and Wicked Wednesday is like a footnote. It's like, hey, this guy won. Hey, these people did good too.
So,
nice job.
Yeah. So this question saying if Tavern Talk had time, the thing about this question is that there is time if people are interested in hearing something that is worth discussing. And this thread, out of all the questions in the Facebook thread that people answer, this one immediately devolved into nothing. So
shocking.
People
shocking.
Just nothing. Like not even 50 comments worth of nothing. Just like 3 and then it was gone because apparently people want to see Cutthroat with his shirt off or something.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, Grim. I would love that, but we would need to have a better way of tracking it. SPL is kind of, for those who aren't following along, Grim just said an SPL recap. We didn't really talk about it because it feels bad, man. But I have gone now to the full-time SPL team for Entropy, and Night Smoke has taken my spot on Entropy. But SPL it's in its infancy, and it's kind of hard.
We don't even keep records or anything yet, so it'd be tough.
So I would love that, but we need to first evolve and fine-tune SPL a little bit more. Yeah, so I'll tell you what, this is kind of thrown on you guys right now. We'll put up a Facebook post about it. We'll try to bump it a few times, keep it going. I'm going to ask that you guys don't meme it up. It's a genuine question. We're always trying to improve what we do, and we're always trying to provide you with the best content we can. So please think about it, and if you have something, add it to the thread on the Facebook meme. I think that's it for Q&A, man. So listen, I know we got time left on the table, but trying to be courteous to my boy Cassie right there, because I know if this were college football or basketball and it were my Gators, I would not even fucking be here right now. So let's get Cassie on his way, and let's get right into the parting thoughts. Slimsh, what you got for us?
Thank you everyone for all the kind words and support from the top 50 win trade boosted finish. Means a lot. Feels
stop.
really good, man. And I'm looking forward to another week of matches. I'm on Salty Saturday, of course, casting the matches. See what I can be for the Sunday ticket. So yeah, that's about it. I want to take too much more time from Cassidy.
Cassidy,
Believe, land your energy